All right, y'all boys, we are finally here. The hype is real. If you haven't read it, One Piece Chapter 1000 is officially out. Not officially, but you know what I mean. But we're not going to be getting into that today. I'm going to save that for another day. I want to make that a special video. So today we're going to be talking about the Straw Hat Bounties post Wano. Also, make sure you like, subscribe before you click on the video or after you click on the video. Either way you want to do it, I'd really appreciate it and be helpful. But now that that's out the way, let's get into the video. A lot of people don't give Sanji credit for the things he does, mainly because people are too busy and caught up in the Zoro versus Sanji hype debates. I really don't understand why, but Sanji does a lot of things that people do not give him credit for. Let's get into this for a second, right? Because Sanji, I don't think people truly understand the type of character he is. Sanji, back in Eni's lobby, sneaked onto the sea train, freed Usopp and Frankie, went to Dressrosa in a short time, turned Violo into an ally, which eventually helped Luffy and Law take down the Doflamingo family. Back in Whole Cake Island, he made the cake for Big Mom that literally saved everybody. Big Mom was not letting nobody leave alive, not even her kids, if she didn't get that cake. Also turned Pudding into an ally. He just needs to get credit, man. How many fighters in the One Piece verse do you know that doesn't have a devil fruit, doesn't use his fists, doesn't fight against women, always fighting against top tiers, and is considered to be an elite fighter? How many fighters in the One Piece verse do you know that hold themselves back in fighting like Sanji does and is still considered to be an elite fighter? I think during in Wano, Sanji will either fight against King or Queen. I'm more on the side of Queen, but I would really like to see Sanji versus King. I think him and Mark will go up 2v2 against King and Queen, and I think that post Wano he'll be credited the dub of taking out either King or Queen, and that will get him a bounty around 1.6, 1.7 billion berries. Zoro is one of those characters, when you think about him, intimidation factor is a big thing with him. He almost kind of always reminds me of Levi from Attack on Titan. I don't know why. It must be something to do with the eyes, but the intimidation factor is always there with those two. But nah, man, Zoro's a tank. A lot could be said about him. Obviously, his bounty is way too low, and he's underrated by the world government. He's connected to the world's strongest swordsman and former warlord Mihawk. He's the right-hand man of Luffy, who the government considered to be one of their biggest threats. Zoro's bounty right now, 320 million, is just a joke for him, because in Wano, he's taking down Killer, Apu, and Hawkins. Hawkins currently has a 320 million bounty. Apu has somewhere around 300 million, and Killer has 200 million. He's taken down two captains and one right-hand man. 320 million is way too low for Zoro. Currently in Wano, Zoro is part of the 5 supernovas who's going up against Big Mom and Kaido, and I think Zoro will have his moment in Wano against one of the two Yonko. I think it'll be against Kaido. The ZKK theory is alive right now and it's thriving, and I'm somewhat starting to lean more towards that side. Post Wano, after everything settled down and the Yonko are defeated, Kaido and Big Mom fall, I think that Zoro and Luffy and everybody who's involved in that incident will get their shine, but I think that Zoro will get more shine than others, because being the right-hand man of Luffy, who led the alliance of taking down 2 of the 4 Yonko, I think that the world government will start to take Zoro more seriously, and they'll give him his bounty increase that he's been well deserved of by now, and I think that will give him a bounty increase of 1.7, 1.8 billion berry range. I don't want to get him to 2 billion yet, because that will bring him real close to Blackbeard, but we don't know Blackbeard's movements. Blackbeard could be doing things that will increase his bounty, but I think I'm comfortable to say Zoro will be around 1.7, 1.8 billion berries post Wano. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Big Dick Luffy, Straw Hat Luffy. There's been some speculation saying that the raid on Onigashima will fail in failure. I really don't agree with that. Wano been set up as for the only way this ends is Kaido falling. Yes, I know this seems like an impossible task right now that he's got Big Mom allied with him, but I think Big Mom's character is a complex character that's more complex than Kaido's, and she has her own problems, as is with her kids and her crew. But nevertheless, Kaido will fall at the hands of the supernova, and I think our guy Monkey D. Luffy is the one who lands the final blow. Now, Luffy's last bounty increase was basically from defeating Katakuri and Cracker, besides invading Big Mom's territory. And they gave him a 1 billion berry increase for taking out 2 of the commanders. Now, it'd be cool to say that Luffy's going to take down Big Mom and Kaido, but that's not realistic. Zoro, Luffy, Kid, Killer, Law, all 5 of them have a reason of being on the rooftop. And I think that Kid and Killer take on Big Mom, thus giving Kid a huge bounty increase that's been needed to keep up with the Luffy rivalry that's been seeming dead for a while now. But back to my main point, I think it's fair to say that if Luffy got a 1 billion berry increase from defeating 2 of Big Mom's commanders, I think it's only fair that Luffy gets a 2.5 billion berry increase for leading the charge into Kaido's territory and bring Kaido down in his territory that he's been dominating for the last 20 years. And I think it's not saying that Luffy has to bring down Kaido and Big Mom by himself, but Luffy taking and leading the charge, going against Kaido and Big Mom, is a big feat in itself. And I think that once the world government learns of this, it's only right that Luffy gets a 4 billion berry bounty for leading that charge, bringing down 2 of the 4 Yonko that the Navy fears so much. I think after this, Luffy must be very much respected by the Navy and everybody. Jinbei is not part of the big 3. I consider him to be part of the big 4 because if I'm being honest, he's not stronger than Zoro or Sanji, so it's fair to put him amongst the top 4 fighters on the crew. But still, that's Jinbei, former warlord of the sea and first son of the sea. Jinbei has a lot of deep connections in the pirate world that we know of, powerful ones with Whitebeard, Big Mom. But I think that the one that gets him the most dangerous label is once that the world government realizes that he's a part of the Straw Hat crew. As far as we are in the story, I don't think that the world government truly understands the type of pirates that the Straw Hats are. They're made out to be some notorious villains, but that's the complete opposite. It's only a few Marines that know who the Straw Hats really are as people in their true natures: Fujitora, Kobe, Tashigi, Smoker. But I think that the Straw Hats being so notorious plays a part in Jinbei's new bounty. Now that he's a part of the crew and is officially recognized as part of the crew by the world government, I think that Jinbei will get a 750 million berry bounty. And I think that that's well deserved for Jinbei considering who he is and the type of person that he's made out to be. Robin is so interesting because I think Oda is now going to start highlighting just how big of a threat the world government will take her to be after Wano. You know, in chapter 999, Big Mom saying, "Kill everybody you want, believe Nico Robin, she's important." Robin right now, she currently has a 130 million berry bounty, which is ridiculous for her because besides the Yonko, she poses a bigger threat than anybody else. I mean, she might also pose a bigger threat than them because the Yonko can't reach their goal of Pirate King without her. I think post Wano, the world government will take Robin serious and give her a 1 billion berry bounty after discovering that Luffy has most of the poneglyphs. I think that he has 3 out of the 4 poneglyphs right now, and that's Robin's bounty based off not very much fighting skills. It's just based off how important she is in the One Piece world because there's nobody like her. Robin is 1 out of 1. There's nobody else like her. Next up, we got my man Frankie. Now, Frankie is one of my most favorite One Piece characters there is. Frankie doesn't really get too much love in the One Piece community, but just like Sanji, Frankie does a lot of things that people don't give him credit for. Warding off Baby 5 in Buffalo, taking on CP9 to help the Straw Hats when he didn't have to, saving Robin from spending back in Ennie's lobby, destroying the Smile Factory in Dressrosa, which was a big task. One of my favorite fights, in my opinion, was Frankie versus Senor Pink because it wasn't really a hate you kind of fight. It was more so of a I respect you kind of fight, but I gotta defeat you. You know, in my opinion, those type of fights hold more value where the two facing off don't hate each other, but they have respect for each other, but they're just in each other's way. I think that's another reason why we really love the Luffy versus Katakuri fight, because Luffy didn't hate Katakuri and Katakuri didn't hate Luffy. They respected each other and saw each other as something to improve from. You know, this really comes down to this. How do you fight a person that you have no hate and no anger towards, but they're just standing in your way and you know you have to defeat them? But because of that, I think that Frankie being such a clutch character that he is right now, he's fighting Sasuke, if I said the name right. If I said the name wrong, my bad, but Sasuke. And I think that's going to be a really good fight. But I think that post-Wano, Frankie's bounty will increase to 494 million. And I think that that's well-deserved for Frankie. Frankie is a tank, man. I'm telling you, Frankie's a problem. God Usopp. I'm gonna keep this one short because we all know who Usopp is by now. He's a brave warrior to see whether you like it or not. When the moment boils up and the pressure's at its highest, Usopp is up to the moment and he delivers. Even if it's not in the way we like it or he thought it would happen, Usopp comes through. Usopp has big balls and he's a troll. I like that about it. But I think that post-Wano, Usopp is gonna do something during Wano that's gonna give him big recognition again, that the god Usopp thing got him. But I think that post-Wano, his bounty will be somewhere around 500 to 600 million berries, which I think is fair for Usopp. Might be too low, but who knows? Next up is Nami. Nami. But nah, seriously, Nami's getting her ass beat by Ulti in page 1. I need to see her and Usopp win that fight. I really hope Oda doesn't off-screen the rest of that fight because I'm actually very interested in that fight and how it turns out. Because we never really got to see... I want to see Nami upset in a fight. I want to see Nami get angry. I want to see Usopp get angry and then come to team up and do something amazing. I just really want to see that fight. I want that win for them. But Nami's bounty right now is 66 million. I think that post-Wano, it'll go somewhere to 266 million, which I think is fair for Nami considering she's part of Straw Hat Luffy's crew and there's not even more than 10 members on his crew, so all of them have to have a notorious bounty in my opinion, all over 200 million. Next up, we got my guy Chopper. Okay, I think the gag with Chopper's bounty ends after Wano because The world government is so poor with getting data and correct information. If they knew who Chopper was and what he's done, there's no way they say he's worth 100 berries. But I think Chopper's bounties are obvious once you take out the joke. 50 berries equals 50 million. 100 berries equals 100 million. So I think if Oda releases the gag, he'll be around 250 million berries. That's not too high for Chopper considering he is a part of Luffy's crew, just like Nami. He gets that's bounty bonus for them too. So I think that 250 million berries is fair bounty for Chopper. Next up is Brook. He's one of the more better swordsmen in the One Piece verse. He's not elite, but he's one of the more better swordsmen. But I don't want to dive too deep into Brook because if I did this video, it would be way longer than it should be. So I'm gonna keep it simple. Brook will get a nice fight in Wano. I don't know who he's gonna fight yet, but I think that post Wano Brook will get a 200 million berry increase, so that'll put him at 283 million post Wano. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. That's my prediction for the Straw Hat Bounties post Wano. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike the video, give it a thumbs down. I got a chapter 1000 review video coming out soon. Until then, I'm gonna see y'all.